but VBS is about imagery. How often when I go to your church VBS that we got this wonderful decorations and all of these things that we see because we want kids to feast and imagine with their eyes, right? And so I think I like the fact that in Psalms 1, David presents this imagery of someone who has this amazing relationship with God, and he starts off with that blessed is the one who does not walk in the step of the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. And this is the part that I want to just focus on for a few seconds today. And it says that person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yield fruits in its due season, and whose leaf does not wither, and whatever they do prosper. Love that. If you imagine that with that imagery of a river, you know, I'm thinking Forest Falls, I'm thinking Yosemite, I'm thinking, oh, I need to make my secretary a co-host so she can do this thing. let me do this. Make co-host. Is Patty in there too, so I can make her co-host? Is Patty in? I'm not, but you can make her co-host, right, Liz? Yeah. Okay. Just the imagery of that tree. You know, this weekend I'm actually my daughter is gonna graduate this weekend. Well, the weekend after at La Sierra University, but we're gonna take a little bit of a family time out, and we're gonna drive all the way up to Yosemite to spend a day. Right, drive all the way up there to spend a day at Yosemite, and there's not a better picture site than a tree in Yosemite planted by the rivers of water, right? Planted by the rivers of water, and the Bible says, whose leaves do not wither, who stands tall no matter what happens. And you know, when I think about VBS, I can't help but think that what we're doing is we're planting trees by rivers of water, right? And that's what we're doing. We're planting God's children by rivers of water. And what does the river symbolize, right? When I think of the river, I can't help but think of what book is that? Revelation, right? Where in the book of Revelation, it's just there's a river of life, right? There's a river of life that flows from where? From the throne of God, and it goes down here, that river of life that flows from the throne of God out through the entire earth, that waters the whole earth, and that brings forth life. And so when I see that imagery in Psalms 1, I think of us helping plant our children by the rivers of water, meaning to say we're bringing them to God's presence and allowing them there to be planted, to grow roots, right? To grow roots and to grow strong. So I want to thank you, because what we're doing in Heroes is we're planting heroes so that they have a purpose, they have a drive, they have a passion, they know who they serve, right? And that's what this whole thing about Heroes is about. It's not the superheroes, it's not the Superman or the Marvel or the Avengers, but basically these are little kids who are simply being faithful for who God called them to be as a child of God. And so I want you guys to think about that when you do this VBS called Heroes, for that, and think about our role of what we're doing in the midst of everything going on, that we are planting our kids by rivers of water. Let's just bow our heads. Father God, I thank you. I thank you that we are called to be planters. That we are called to be planters or co-planters as we work with our parents and families to help plant the kids by the rivers of water, to bring them to your to by your throne of grace, so that they are nourished, guided, molded, mentored, pruned, all of those things that allow trees to grow strong, that allows them to stand no matter what happens, though the winds blow, do storms come. So what a privilege and an opportunity. And just bless the next half an hour that we have together, Father God, that we may see clearly and hear clearly what it is that you have plans for our church. And many here are still deciding what they're going to do. Some here are deciding whether they're going to do a big live or they're going to do their own church. But whatever which way we decide, Father God, just know that we are in partnership with you as we simply follow your leading for our church. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I just finished doing a training for Heroes Live for our church. And so the very first thing that I want to make sure and share with you guys is that everybody knows where the website is, and that everybody must register their church or have your kids registered directly to the website. And so if you're not familiar already, that website is found in AdventistVBX.org. And if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to please put it in the chat, so that and we will have some of our team members try to answer that, and I'll try to glance occasionally. And Liz or Patty will be there to answer that. So if you have any questions, just do that. But this is AdventistVBX.org. And this is where this Heroes is a little confusing, because there are 3 types of Heroes VBS. They really became overachievers. Let me say it this way. So I love it. First, they have the VBS Heroes Live. And the VBS Heroes Live is where everybody does VBS all at the same time. I'm imagining hundreds, maybe thousands of kids. I don't know how many that will be signing up, that will be seeing each other in Zoom, that will take place all across the United States and Canada. And I saw people from Bermuda and everywhere else, right? And they're signed up, and it's all gonna happen in ours. It's 5 o'clock Eastern time, so that's 2 o'clock Pacific time, right? 5 o'clock Eastern time, 2 o'clock Pacific time, where it's gonna all happen all at the same time. So that's pretty exciting. So that's VBS Live. And your part is just to promote that time, make sure that the families are registered. You don't have as much interaction, of course, on that end, because you're just kind of making sure that happens and that facilitate. There may be some supplies you may have to do for that, and so you may prepare some bags, but it's very minimal supply, and all the information that you need is right here. It's going to already be here. What is included. It's completely free. You don't even need the Heroes kit. The schedule's already here, but they must register for English. And on the VBS Live, there's an English one and there's a Spanish one. So that's really important, right? There's going to be, the Spanish one is going to be purely in Spanish, and the English one, of course, will be in English. So they're not going to take an English one and try to translate it in Spanish. It's going to be live in Spanish and live in English. So the Spanish one, I believe, happens not at 2 o'clock, but happens at 12. Let me make sure. 12:30. I'll talk about the schedule a little bit, but let me just kind of give you a big picture. So here you have this VBS Heroes Live, and by the way, the live will be all day. There's activities that happens all day for the entire week, and we'll talk a little bit about that VBS Heroes Live in a second. The other part of VBS, Heroes VBS, if you don't want to do the live section, is the Heroes for Churches. Now this one is where you will have to be specifically more involved. They're going to have videos, they're going to have people doing sections of that, but you're going to be there introducing the sections, you're going to be there for the song service, you're going to be there for the closing service. It's kind of going to be like, it's a little bit going to be more like similar to what we're doing, where you're involved, the kids see you, and you put you put that section in between, so you could put it whatever time you want, you could do it whenever you want. and you could set it up in whichever way you want, but it's specifically as a church. So they're going to actually have a training for that. For those of you who want to do that, they're going to have a training. When is that training? I got to get that. June 18. They're going to have a training for you so that you can attend to see exactly how that's done. But it's relatively, it's there and you can download it and all the resources are there. And then the third part of Heroes is called Heroes for Families. And that's simply for families who don't want to do live. Maybe they're not going to join the church. Maybe it's not going to have a Heroes Live for the church, but they want to sign up as a family itself. And they actually just kind of become a consumer. They download it, they watch the program, they're there as a family. There's no interaction with anyone. It's kind of all be self-contained, and they can do that. They can do that anytime. So again, don't be confused, but literally this is the live program. This is the interactive program that the church has put on, or simply a family can sit there and watch that program. So the ones that I want to take a little bit of time right now is to explain to you what happens with the live program a little bit, and the way it's scheduled. Let me put up. What do you guys see on your? Do you guys see the Heroes, or do you guys see the website on your thing?
It's Heroes, man.
Do you see the website or that page that says Heroes?
Yeah, it's the adventsvbx.org website.
Oh, okay. So let me go and let me share the ones that I want to thank you. I wanted to be sure. So if you go to their website, this is, I revamped our website, SECC Youth Children's Ministry. I revamped their schedule because their schedule was so confusing. I had to call them and say, can you explain this, please? So this is the redone of the schedule that they're doing in North America. And I'm hoping, let me not do that. Let me not cancel them. What is going on? Move. You guys are seeing this page that says Heroes and Heroes VBS Live, yes? Yes, thank you. So the way the program is, it's July 6th through 10. Everybody must register using Eventbrite, but the schedule is what I kind of want to show you because it's an all-day program. Now, the first half is if you actually want to see the live morning, so it's 10 o'clock Eastern time, they'll have a VBS family worship, and then they'll have a family worship activity, and then they'll have a daily challenge for the day and submissions. And that happens from 10:30 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. Now they're 3 hours ahead. So if you wanted to do that, that would be from 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if it's Spanish, it's going to be from 6 in the morning to 6:15 a.m. If you want to do the live one, if you want to be there and it's all live. If you want to do the Pacific Standard Time where it's simply just us, right? It's simply for Pacific. So frustrating. If it's just that, then you could actually watch the rebroadcast. And the rebroadcast is where they're gonna re-show it to, we're gonna re-show the whole thing. It's live, but it's not live. It's a rebroadcast of the show that was in the morning. So for the Spanish, it starts at 9 in the morning. The daily challenge goes from 9:30 to 12. And then the VBS live program for the Spanish is 12 o'clock. And that Spanish program, everybody does it. Everyone does it, right? That's the same time for everyone. So that's 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So when you see that up there, you know, it says here 3 to 4:30 VBS Live EST. And then I put here 12 to 1:30 VBS Live Pacific Standard Time. So when you look at that, don't get confused, because I know I got confused, and so it's just a little easier for me when I put it down for what time it is. For the English, For the English, the rebroadcast starts at 10 o'clock, and then the daily challenge is from 10:30 to 2, and then at 2 o'clock, why do you keep on doing that? And then at 2 o'clock, it's the VBS live program. So this is the English one where hundreds of kids, maybe 1,000 kids come together, and they will do VBS all at the same time, right? And so this is where they'll probably have pages and pages and pages of Zoom things of kids doing that. And that's kind of pretty exciting. I think that's a different thing. That's kind of exciting as you do. And if on our website, this is uploaded, and you can get a little bit more description of what the different things are. So here's the church edition, so exactly what it entails and what you do. And then there's the home edition, and then of course the VBS live. So I'm gonna stop share here for a second, and I wanna make sure that you kind of have, so that's the most confusing part. 3 different ways that you could do Heroes. It's up to you, but live is the easiest. It's probably the most fun and unique because it's VBS throughout the entire NAD, but that only happens July 6th through 10, and it's a very specific time. Then afterward, it's recorded. But if you as a church want to get personally involved and you want to have all the opening and all that closing thing, you're definitely going to want to do the church edition. And then, of course, if you're wanting just families to watch it on their own or something like that, then you're wanting the family edition. Any questions specifically on how that works? So I want to pause for a second on that.
Where are the kids supposed to register? If I'm doing Heroes VBS Live, do they have to go register on their webpage, or how is that gonna work?
Yes, they register. Give me a second and make sure. They're actually starting the registration now. So if you go to the website, it's right here now. Want to learn more? Join our space is limited, so sign up now. So right here, that sign up now is where they start to sign up. So when you sign up now, you put in all the information and they'll give you more things. And this sign up here is specifically
for the children, right?
For the children and for everything. So each and every person does have to sign up, for that. Yes. So that's where you're going to want to sign up. So any information that you want to know about Heroes will always be on this website. This will be kind of like the Bible. This is going to have the most latest information. We're going to put them in our website as well, but these will always have the most updated and current, or if there's any changes, this is where you need to go. So this is the Bible right here, adventistvbx.org. And if you want to know a little bit more about each of the 3 ones, that's all right here. And if you're wanting to get the supply list, it's going to be here. So everything will literally be on this website. You want more updates? You sign up right over here. Sign up for more updates. Right. So hopefully that answered your question. Any other questions? That was a good question. Thank you so much.
If we have the VBS Live, are we going to supply with anything to the kids, or they don't any? Are we involved in that in any way, buying things for them, or no?
The answer is yes, in a little way. I watched the first VBS today, and what they try to do is they try to use us, like for Monday, the supply they needed was Legos. And so they just said, oh, go to your house and get some Legos, and they, so that they try to use as much material that's around the house as possible. Now, there may be some material that it's not necessarily readily available in the home, and that's where that's going to be giving you a list. They'll have a list provided, and that's probably where you as a church member, as a church, can then provide your kids with those small items. But it's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's It's not a lot and it's not expensive, but these are things that maybe are just not as like, oh, that's not around my house, right? So that either you let your families know ahead of time saying, hey, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna need some of these, please get them ahead of time, or hey, the kids can pick up a little packet and then it will be there for them.
All that information is going to be on the website, all the stuff they need?
Yes, all the supply list will be on that website at adventistvbx.org. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah. So the question is, where is the supply list? It's not there right now because, like I said, it's not very many. They're just finalizing it up. But as soon as they have the supply list, they said that they're going to post it here at adventistvbx.org. Right? They have tried to make it as self-contained as much as possible to make it as easy for the churches as possible instead of you going out and buying a whole lot. So definitely this has much less supply list than per se if you did Rocky Railway. We have a much longer supply list that you have to buy and prepare for ahead of time. So this one is pretty easy to do. Right, it's pretty easy to do, but I think I got to really give kudos for our NAD for coming up with a system that I think is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I like the way that they're doing that, and I think it's going to work really well for a lot of our churches.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
So
do me a favor, when you say your name, I see your name, but you just tell me which church you're at so I can just mentally note that.
I'm from the Victorville Church.
That's right. I knew where you were, but that way we just got, and the first one, what church were you with? Miss Jimenez?
Oh, I'm Hemet Spanish.
Hemet Spanish. Okay, been to your church. Okay, yes.
So once they register online through the website, is there any way for us to know that they've registered so that we can, because you had mentioned a good thing to do might be to give them an incentive where if the first 50 people register, get t-shirts or something like that, but also so that I can send them that information, like you might want to get some Legos for day one if you don't have Legos in the house, or that kind of thing. Will we?
That is an excellent question. And so I just wrote that down. I know that Liz is typing out questions and we're going to put that in the FAQ, frequently asked questions. I will find the answer for that, right? Because that makes sense. If we as a church are going to provide them supplies, how are we going to know which of them signed up?
Right.
Or, right, the other question may be, could we as a church register and say we have 15 kids, and so they register to your church, and you just simply say 15 kids.
Right.
Right. So can they sign up as a church? Let me put that down. Can they sign up? I didn't even, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Like, hey, if the church has to provide a supply list, then they need to know which of the families signed up ahead of time. Excellent question. I will get the answer. I have her number, but we will get the answer for that. Awesome.
I have a question.
Yes.
My name is Tyler Shook, and I'm from the Arden Hills Church.
Oh, okay.
And so our families really love the music that comes from the VBS programs. We've used programs from group in the past, and that was a big request. That people get CDs, although now we might do something a little bit different like the download codes. Would we be able to get anything like that from NAD for Heroes if we were going to do that program?
So here's the cool thing. Did you know that all that music, have you seen the music yet for Heroes?
I have not, no.
Oh, okay. So now do you normally do group or the NAD one?
Usually group.
Okay, so group one you have to purchase through group, okay, because we don't have copyrights to those group songs. Is that right, Patty? Yeah, we don't have. Yeah, she's not my wife. It says Manuel Vitug, but that's Patty Marufo.
I signed in through our account at the conference. I'll change.
But for the NAD one, I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually create from scratch all the songs and film it here at Southeastern California Conference, and we use our kids.
Okay.
And because there are songs, we can actually duplicate them without any royalty infringement, right?
Okay.
So if you get like the kit and there's a DVD and there's the songs and all of that, and I'm going to confirm this, but I think it's true. If you replicated the DVD and hand them out to your kids, I don't think there's any replication issue, because one of the things that NAD wanted to be sure, because they know how the world works, they know how Adventism works. We plagiarize in the name of the Lord. Not plagiarize, we duplicate in the name of the Lord. I'm recorded, so I better be careful. And we pass it on, right? I mean, we don't think about royalty rights or anything like this, because of course it's in the name of God, so it's okay. But with the NAD one, because that's why we intentionally write the songs from scratch, and that way we're not infringing on anybody's royalty or copyrights. So you could actually take that, duplicate it, just the songs or whatever it is, and then pass them out to the kids, and you're going to be perfectly fine.
Perfect.
Yeah, in fact, if you see the shirt that I'm wearing, it's the Heroes shirt, but this is not the one that we're officially selling. It's one that we did ourselves, and I asked for permission. Hey, is it okay if we create our own design and just do that? And they go, oh yeah, there's no copyright to it. Go ahead and do what you need. So I believe that I'm pretty accurate when it comes to that.
Now, are those music? They usually do some sort of music video.
Yes.
With the song, are those available already, or are they putting them together right now?
Oh no, they're done. They're done.
Oh, okay.
They're in your. If you have a Heroes kit, they're in your kit.
Okay, I don't have a Heroes kit.
Yeah, I don't think we have any more, Patty. I don't have any more Heroes kit. I might have like one Spanish or something, but I don't have any more English one.
We're out of Heroes kits. We do have Rocky Railway kits.
We have a couple of them, but no more. You can still order the Heroes kit, by the way, through Advent Source.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right.
We haven't decided exactly which program we're going to do either, but some of it's going to depend on what we can get our hands on.
So here's the good news. For Heroes, you don't necessarily have to have a kit to be able to do it, right? That's the cool part. In fact, I think I mentioned this last time. With Heroes, you're going to use very little of the kit, because they're going to use that Heroes kit for next summer, kind of like Heroes Part 2. So the songs will be similar, but it'll, the crafts. So the craft for this one is going to be different than the one in the kit. They're going to try to make it as different from the kit as possible, because they're going to redo that kit for next summer, so that the kids next summer will now be familiar with the songs and stuff like that. But then it will be up to you to tweak it even a little bit more to make it fun. So I don't know if that was helpful.
Yeah, that was. Thank you very much.
Good. Excellent question. They are using the same music in the kit? Yes, they are. Linda, they are using the same exact music in the kit for both this year and next year. So that's one of the things that are similar for that. And we beta tested those songs last summer, and they were a hit. The kids really liked the songs in Heroes. Any other questions regarding that, regarding Heroes? So many of you came by really recently. So you went there in the beginning. I'm going to try to get a link to, if they'll let me, I'll try to get a link to Riverside Korean. They're actually doing a church live VBS in English next week, starting Monday. So, they informed us that they were doing that. So if you kind of wanted to kind of see, how is it like to do your own? They're very creative, and I'm not quite sure how they're doing it, but they're doing one. So if you wanted to kind of get a chance to see what it's like, that's what they're doing, but I'm not sure if they are using the NAD church kit or not. That I can't tell you, or they're just simply just running with it and doing it and making it kit based or not. That I'm not sure. So my gut says that they may be doing it based on the kit and probably doing a different VBS next year if I know the leaders in that church. But so that they're doing that one from scratch, unless there's someone here from Riverside Korean and can tell me otherwise. Awesome. Any other questions? I don't want to hold you guys too long, but I wanted to be sure that you guys were specifically aware of the three things. So I see a question right here. It says, so let me get this straight. The conference will present the VBS for our children to watch online, and we as a church can produce our own as well. As for the supplies that are needed, will be provided by the children. I'm gonna presume you're talking about Heroes, right? So who's ever asking this question, can you go ahead and I need a little clarification on your question that you put on the chat, making sure that I'm understanding what you're asking.
Annie, if I think I know who she is. If there is someone who feels more comfortable asking the question in Spanish, they can type it up in Spanish and I'll translate for you.
Sí, ya, si necesitas hablar en español, Paris.
Thanks for translating for me. So I'll say, yeah. Pueden escribir sus preguntas en español.
Yes, sí. So I'm trying to I've got several messages down below. If we do Heroes Church, not live, will we have access to the NAD programming that they have already loved so we can use it on our, yes, and the answer is yes. Again, the Heroes, excellent question. The Heroes Church, let me share that screen one more time. AdventistVBX.org. They're gonna have a section right here for the the Heroes Church, where you can actually download kind of the part that is, so I watched it and it was actually well done. With the Heroes for Churches, they actually have things like a live camel that they show someone doing that, person dressed up with a background in Egypt. And it's quite well, I was quite well done. And I hope that the live is just as exciting as what they were showing there. So it's a production that they show. And so you get to, and the way it is that they have a script, right? They have a script so that you're right in between that and you're saying, hey, now we're going to, and you're talking about it, and then you're clicking on the video, you're clicking on certain things. And if you want to, there's a training specifically for that, training webinar. And so there's a specific training webinar here on June 18 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. June 18 next week, you can go and you could sign up specifically on how to put on a Heroes Home Edition VBS workshop specifically for your church. This is, I don't think this is the live one, but I'm sure that they can answer questions for the live one. This is specifically for how do you do it if you're gonna do it live as a church. Because again, as I was watching it, they have script just like a VBS where someone talks, someone introduces, someone puts on the different things. It's a little bit more, what's the word? It's a lot more hands-on, not a little bit more. It's a lot more hands-on where it really needs you, and you kind of have to know how to do that. So if you want to do your own VBS at your local church at your own time, at your own pace, or whatever you want to do, make sure you sign up for their specific training on June 18 at 5 p.m. next week. And you could register right here and they'll send you a link. And I hope that was helpful for that. Let me see if there's other questions in there. Patty, are there any other questions that I didn't answer? I think that answered that.
No, that was it. That was
think-
all the
yeah.
questions.
So on the question before, the part I was confused about is says the conference will present the VBS for our children to watch online, and we as a church can produce our own as well. The conference will not present any part of Heroes online. I just want to make that clear. The conference will not present any part of Heroes online. That is something that you will be able to download yourself if you're going to do it as a church, or you can have, when the families register for their own, they can go directly to the site. The only thing that we're going to produce online is the one for group called Rocky Railway. And again, based on last meeting, we're not going to put it on YouTube. Rather, we're going to give an email to the churches who's doing the group one, a specific, what's the word? A specific access to the video so that kids are not going to YouTube ahead of time and watching it. You're actually presenting it at the time you want based on how you want to do that. But again, that's specifically for Rocky Railway. But for Heroes, we as the conference, all we're doing is supporting it, promoting it, and making sure that the people know what resources are available for you. That is the role that we're doing, and we're really thankful that for what the NAD is doing and for the wonderful job that they did on this program.
One more question, Pastor Manny.
Yes, yes, Linda.
So you're saying they're going to download it. It's if we're doing the NAD Heroes live. They'll download it, so they'll watch.
Oh,
it.
no. So let me correct you really quick. The NAD Heroes Live, they're not downloading, they're watching it live.
Okay, so they're watching that live.
Yes.
And are they watching that on a computer, or can they watch it on their TV, or how?
I don't know about the TV unless you mirror it off your phone,
Oh, okay.
or unless you attach it to your computer. I would think that you could watch it off your phone, iPad, or on your computer, unless you have a TV that's smart that you can direct where to go.
Okay, but it's not like YouTube or something like that.
It's not, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It's not a YouTube where you click on a YouTube thing. It's not that. It's because it's live. They're actually using it's a live streaming program. So you're gonna have to have something that's gonna be able to do that. So if they wanted to attach it to their TV via computer with an HDMI cord, then they can watch it on their TV, and that would be more fun and bigger. That's how I would do it. That would be great.
Okay, thank you.
All right, it's 6:40. I want to make sure that I'm actually not signing off because we're gonna be. I'm gonna be here. This is the same station where all the Rocky people are gonna be signing on. It says here, would be good if NAD considered YouTube Live. So the answer is they will probably put things on YouTube Live. You know what? That's beyond my pay grade. I'm not sure which way they're gonna quite do it. Yeah. Can't answer you on that. It'll be interesting. I'll be watching it to see how it works. The big glitch that I'm seeing, and we're having the same issue, is how to show something and not have lag. So anytime you're doing the streaming, there's a lag factor when you're doing it live, unless literally the camera's there and you're doing that. So anytime you're showing, and that's the part here, anytime you're doing, for example, like a download video and you're doing it through Zoom, and then you're clicking on that video to show through Zoom, there's that Zoom lag that's really frustrating. That doesn't produce the best quality. The sound comes out okay, but the video, as many of you already seen it, kind of comes in spurts, and it's really frustrating. And so that's one that we have to be able to solve. And that's why I suggest the NAD Live, because the NAD Live is not a video, but actually a live presentation, so that there is no lag. It's going to come in there, except for maybe when they do songs or something like that. If they do that via video, there may be a little bit of lag for that. But good point, Shifra. I haven't done YouTube Live or Facebook Live to see if that's actually better. I know I preached, and oftentimes they'll tell me, Pastor, when you preach live, sometimes there's a little bit of a lag, so we actually like you to pre-do the video, and they just make it into something like that. So we'll see what happens. This is all new for most of us in this generation. I was going to say, it's no longer the new reality, it's the now reality. Yes.
I have a question real quick. Is there some kind of like reading pamphlets for the topic for each day? Because we wanted to present it to our church on Saturday, like as a program. So,
yeah, so
is there some kind of...
The easiest is if you go to the website of that, there's actually, let me do that one more time. Thank you for those who's joining in early for Rocky Railroad. We're just finishing up the Q&A here for Heroes. So yeah, you can stick around. But there are actually, as you go here, there's actually a little bit of schedule resource. And of course, if you have the kit, you could look at what it says, because it's going to be pretty similar what it is. Like the themes for the days are the same. Like the first day is, wow, it's the same as Rocky. The first day is about being brave. That's, because I just watched it, I realized it was being brave. And it's the same way with the same thing with Rocky Railroad. The first day of Rocky Railroad is about being brave. So it's the same theme for day one. So if you have the kit, you'll see it there. And I would just explore here, because there might be some on their website, it kind of says a little bit about what their VBS is. But the best is do you have a kit, Emilu?
No, we don't.
Oh, you don't. Look through here and then let me know, and I might be able to photocopy a few things and put it on our website for an overview. Let me put here, upload overview.
Pastor Manny?
Yes.
I don't have a kit also, so in Indonesian.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we'll photocopy at least just the overview, so you know what the week is about, right? And the scope and sequence, a little bit of that, and we'll put that on our web page or our website. Like I said, one of the things about this Heroes is that you don't need a kit, right? Because you're not going to be doing a whole lot other than maybe providing a list of things to do. If you're doing the VBS Live, you're just sending them to the site, you're just registering them, and everything is really done for you. Even though it's interactive, it's really everything is done for you. So this is one of those where you really don't need a kit, in all honesty, other than kind of knowing what the VBS is about. And we'll upload that. We'll upload that to our website. The kit you'll need if you do Heroes next summer, you'll definitely need a kit. But for this summer, you're not gonna need the kit at all. In fact, I wouldn't buy one until you decide that you're gonna do it next summer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy one unless you're gonna do it next summer, because you might go when you're done, you go, that was good, but I'm gonna do a different theme next summer. That possibly may happen.
Pastor Manny, this is Maribel from Fabric Spanish.
Yes.
A quick question. The Heroes for Families, is that English only or is it also in Spanish?
I know that most of their resources, they're putting together in English, Spanish, and French. So let me look at their French thing. I have it right here on my thing to see if the Spanish. Oh, by the way, so but
how much is that percentage? Is that?
I was gonna say, but I'm trying to share a kit. I just remembered you can download. There's gonna be a Heroes Director's Guide, and in the Director's Guide, if you download that, there's actually, this is in Spanish, it actually kind of explains that. So I believe that it's also going to be in Spanish. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in Spanish, maybe even in French.
Oh, okay,
Right.
so like when the kiddos register, that'll probably show there if they can do it. Like it'll have the choice if they want to do English or Spanish.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Let me look at that. And Emilu, your question was for those and Steph, Miss Mayang, I'm looking at this and on the director's guide, there it is. There's all the things that you need about understanding and what it's all about. So you don't even need and the different things for the different things for the day. Let me reshare that. Yeah, the different points for the day, overview of the theme, everything that you need really that's going to be. And Liz, remind me, well, isn't this on our website that we uploaded for handout? Yes, Liz?
I believe so. I can go check and make sure.
Yeah, I believe it's in our SECC Youth Children's Ministry website. And so the director's kit home edition is already there and it tells you what each day is like. So it's done. That upload overview is done. It's already there. Is that helpful, guys? I hope that that's helpful. Anything else? Good. Thank you for the thumbs up, Shifra. Really appreciate that. If there's nothing else, if there's no other questions, I see in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you have any questions, you could either email me or you could email directly over there for any connect with us or ask us questions or emails, because they're the ones processing this through. But honestly, it's a good program, right? It's a good program. It's a pretty easy program. One thing I like about this program is 1 week and it's done. For those of you who just want to extend it out, so it's double edged. I'm pretty excited about the monthly program because for many of our kids, it's something that they can keep them active all summer long. I know some of you guys are asking, can our kids do both? Don't ask that question. I see the smiles in some of your faces. I know what you're thinking. Can my kids do both? But yeah, I think I think they did a good job with it, and that feature of having hundreds of kids all at the same time is a pretty neat feature. But again, it's devoid of you being personally plugged in, and that's the disadvantage, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. That's a disadvantage. The advantage of a church edition is that they see you. They see kids like seeing faces that they're familiar with, right? And that's a disadvantage of the live, and that is they're not seeing anyone that they know. So I'm trying not to discourage anyone, but so that's the reality of that, right? You have this professionally done when everybody's there, it's great, but your kids won't recognize anyone. Then you have the church edition where your kids, oh, so-and-so, and then you put in the things in between. And so you have to balance as a church, which one is gonna minister to our church family best. Is there a place where we can listen to the song? Is there a place where we can listen to the songs? I believe that in the Resource Center at adventistvbs.org, there are some snippets. There are snippets of the songs for Heroes. And if not, if you don't have a kit, so I'm gonna presume you don't have a kit, and so you're asking that question. I'm not sure if I can just load that up on the website. I will have to ask permission for that. Yeah, that I'm gonna have to ask permission for. I'm not sure that I can just load that up. But maybe if you need to, now when the conference opens, you can burn a copy to listen to it. Sorry, Steph. That's
that's fine. Thank you.
No.
Do you think that
okay. Liz says no. We don't want to do that. Okay.
They are selling their CD, so
no, we can't do that.
I do have a question. If because I'm the one that asked that question, do you mind just writing it down on the chat, the website that I can go to listen to the clips?
Oh yeah, Liz, can you? I want to make sure admin@vbx.org, because they used to have. Oh, so
Liz just wrote
perfect.
it on the chat.
Yeah, but I just
Okay.
want to show it to you right now, because it's right there.
Awesome.
So under Explore, there's right there music,
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
and the music will have the different clips right there. So you could just listen to it. Yeah, and they have the theme song. They have all the fun things there.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, yeah, they have all of them. Perfect. So that Liz doesn't have to burn them. Sorry, Liz. Oh, okay. If that's it, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate your time.